welcome. We are live with Saturday College Pick'em Show here on a Thursday night. We are live at MDC Sports Stadium. Looking forward to an awesome night of college football picks. I got Logan. I got myself, Dustin.
Will.
You got one.
Preston.
Hello, Preston.
Welcome to the show. Glad you're tuned in. Hey, if it's your first time viewing, thanks so much for checking in with us. If you're all-time going with us since 2018 at least?
No.
Long time.
Only like 16.
16. Okay. Well, if you've been with us that long, man, go ahead and share this video on Facebook. Here's what we're going to do. This is breaking news. I hadn't even told half the guys at the table this. Tonight, if you share our video on Facebook, you'll be entered in to win a $25 Amazon gift card.
Wow.
Yeah, breaking news.
Woo.
That just got crazy.
And I shared it already. Do I get in the drawing?
No, we are not included. Unfortunately, we are out of it.
Oh, yes.
If there's a Bill Wyatt, then we will throw him out.
Let me go make a Facebook page.
There will be a Rogan handle. I guarantee it.
I like it. So, all right. But, hey, make sure right now, go ahead and share on Facebook. If you're on YouTube, thanks for joining with us. Man, share it in the group chat. Share it with your friends. Let them know what we're doing here. But, man, we're so excited. Right now, we got the championship game going on behind us. You'll probably hear the crowd go crazy. We might hear some fancy words, maybe in French. We'll see. You never know. It's Christian League, so you know how those things go. But, man, we're so excited to be here live. Thanks for the opportunity to be here. Just a little while, we'll have Nolan come on and talk about some MVC sports and talk about everything coming up in the program. But first off, let's go ahead and check in with our scoreboard so far. We're trying to keep things close, and let's check that out real quick. Woo. All right. Hey, still holding down the dumpster fire spot. Now, there has to be something said for consistency. All right? I think this is 4 weeks in a row. I'm killing
This is one game between all four of us. One game apiece.
it. It is true. We're keeping it close. So
From first and second. third,
I'm bringing up the rear, 35-21. Not too shabby. Okay. And then we got Preston digging himself out of the dumpster fire.
True.
So he's above us here. And then we got Wilbur in second. And the man, the myth, the legend, right now in first place, Logan Wandle. So congratulations. The crown is a heavy place to be at. We're all still in the race, still trying to keep it close. So make sure you stay along, cheer us on. Hey, let us know who your favorite picker is. You know, let us know.
Hey,
Leave a name in the comment.
Bring it
No
through.
doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Hey, we got
It's
some love.
spontaneous. That's me.
It's you. We'll see who gets the most votes. You never know. All right. Sure.
Hey.
Sure. Why not?
Very
All right. So, real quick, we got one comment in the chat so far. We got Miss Gloria, a longtime picker. Come on, dogs. Let's rock the house. All right. She's excited about them Georgia Bulldogs.
Holly
Getting
doesn't
ready.
count. She doesn't count.
Holly. We got one vote. Okay. Holly.
That's like a
Logan
Becca
is
was
my
to
favorite.
put in there.
Vote is a
A
vote.
vote is a vote.
Vote is a vote.
That's what Joe Biden said. so.
Sophia, you better
All right,
watch
moving
it.
on. We're gonna get into our quick picks real quick. Roll right into that segment, and after that, dumpster fire pick of the week by Will Bryant. Excited about that. So let's go ahead and jump into our quick picks real quick. Our first game this week, we got number 20 Duke taking on number 18 Louisville.
My mom voted for me.
Oh, your mom? You got
She's
to
a
vote for your
go.
mom?
She's a go.
Family don't count.
Yeah.
Family don't count.
Hey.
Always not feeling yet.
Oh,
Maybe.
now you're gonna
Maybe.
claim her. Okay. All right.
All right,
Moving
half
on.
the mortgage.
Not yet.
Not yet. Doesn't count. All right, so we got our first rapid pick of the week. We're going to go through this very fast. We got a lot to do in our show today. Number 20 Duke versus number 18 Louisville. Preston, quick.
Come on, dude.
Depends on Riley Leonard. If Riley Leonard's playing,
I've been hearing that for weeks now.
I'm gonna be like Will. I'm gonna go Louisville.
Oh, wow. Wilbur.
Louisville's favored by 4.5. It doesn't matter. Duke rolls.
Yeah. Give me
Blue
Duke.
Devils.
Blue Devils. I like it. Good pick. All right, Logan.
Give me Duke.
Hey!
Hey.
Welcome to the club.
Preston
All right.
Diggs is
We're going blue. Hey, you got to separate yourself somehow.
Listen, this is how it's gonna happen right here.
This is it. This is the week.
The
Right.
dumpster fire
I
team.
like
You
it.
like Plummer, though. The quarterback for
Absolutely.
Louisville. He's
That's what
really
I
good. Yeah.
All right, we're going to talk about a bulldog that's found in Mississippi State.
Oof.
All right, Mississippi State Bulldogs taking on the Auburn War Eagle Tigers toilet paper team. I don't know how many more mascots they need, but we got Mississippi State taking on Auburn. Interesting picks here. Logan,
This is for to be the Carolina team of the West.
Ooh.
That's what this game is about.
Wow.
Give me Mississippi State.
Whoa.
Listen, we're at least
Whoa.
we're at least
Hey,
second
they're-
from the bottom.
No, they're the bottom two besides Arkansas. We're the bottom two.
Arkansas is
They're trying to be the Carolina of the West. You never know.
How many points did Mississippi State score last week?
7. They won 7-3 against Arkansas. It was terrible.
Listen, at least we can kick field goals. I mean,
Well,
that's all. I'll give me Auburn. I think Auburn's going to take this one.
I think it's Auburn pretty easily.
Yeah.
Not any question.
Ooh.
I'm going to Auburn. I like you.
Oh, man.
Logan by
We're
himself.
splitting the
that's
table.
fine. That's fine.
It's fine. Hey, there's a reason why
Listen,
he's on top.
Hey, I picked
Here's the
Utah
real
last week.
question: if Auburn
He
came
did.
to Carolina, who would win?
If Auburn came to Carolina.
Ooh.
Probably Auburn.
Well, if they came to Carolina, absolutely.
Oh,
We don't
so,
lose. We don't.
So flip it. We go to Auburn.
Then we're probably gonna lose.
Oh, wow.
If they come to Carolina this week, because half our team is questionable at this point.
Hey, Legat's ready.
We'll still get. Yeah, we'll still have a look at it.
Well, we're not playing each other. That don't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Mr. Rattler's not going to have an offensive line to block for him. at
He
Thursday.
already he didn't.
All right, moving right along. Mississippi State versus Auburn. We got that pick in.
Right.
We got one guy got Mississippi State. So shout out to Dr. Adam Christmas, Mississippi State Bulldog fan there. All right, and then our last rapid pick of the week, number 6, Oklahoma taking on Kansas, the team we just can't stop talking about. For some reason, I don't know why. I think they just spite me with this name, Kansas, like it's a legit team. So, Will,
Pretty simple. Keep it short and sweet. Oklahoma by 17.
Boomer Sooner.
Boomer
I got
Sooner.
you. Yeah.
Listen, Kansas is a sleeper team,
Oh, my goodness.
but Oklahoma's going to win. this.
Everybody knew you were.
You've been eating too much of that Les Miles grass.
Hey, listen.
Preston.
Yeah, I mean, there's a stat I saw the other day where Oklahoma had the highest chance of making the college football playoff just because of strength of schedule. I'm going Oklahoma, but this could be the game they lose. Absolutely,
Interesting.
Oh,
All right.
Oklahoma though.
Oklahoma. All right. Well, that wraps up our quick picks of the week. Coming up, we're going to get to our main picks, but right now it is time for the dumpster fire pick of the week, brought to you by Will the Kill Rice.
Whoa.
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 Hey, don't be throwing my profile out there like that, man. Watch out. Watch out.
Throwing his information out there like that.
That was a random Masters pick. I like that, though.
All right, dumpster fire.
All right.
Here we go. Redo it. Here we go.
Woo! Dumpster fire.
Second time.
Hey, look, I got 3 votes for me as the favorite.
They're all
That's
your
mom,
family.
you know.
your soon-to-be mother-in-law and your fiance.
Listen, only 2 of them are actually family right now.
Missy, really?
Or one of them is only family right now.
Missy, I am hurt.
It's disappointing.
All right.
All
Well,
right, dumpster fire.
this is your segment once again.
All
We're
right.
going to interrupt for.
Well,
an
listen,
hour.
yeah. You always interrupt when I'm talking for some reason. Let's be honest. Let's put it out there. Set the record.
Yeah.
Carolina for the rest of the year is the dumpster fire of the week. Okay, we can't pick them every week. We gotta switch it up.
There's hope.
Obviously, so I've already picked them before. I'm gonna go a different direction this week. I'm looking at USC. Not Carolina.
Okay.
USC. Caleb Williams, as Logan pointed out to me earlier, did not have a touchdown last week. They lost to Utah, which in retrospect is not a bad loss. This is 4 years in a row they've lost to Utah. They cannot beat Utah, and it's kind of embarrassing at this point because they're supposed to be one of the best teams in the country. They have, I just blanked on his name. Who's the coach? Lincoln Riley. They have
No.
Lincoln Riley, Caleb Williams, Marshawn Lloyd, who came from Carolina.
Lloyd.
Like, they have all this
Hope you break an
talent.
ankle.
They don't have a defense, but they have this talent. They should be winning games, plain and simple. And so
I didn't say it live. I'm sorry.
I'm going to take USC for
Wow.
the dumpster fire. The Trojans, by far, are one of the biggest disappointments in the Pac-12 this year.
It would be a real dumpster fire if we got punted in the back of the head by a soccer ball.
Listen,
that would be
Hey,
bad.
I got the real question.
All right. Well, let's get rid of the dumpster
At this
fire
point,
graphic.
yeah, hold on.
That's trash.
Okay,
We established that's the
who
dumpster.
would you rather have right now?
You.
Marshawn Lloyd? Me, for sure.
Yes.
Marshawn Lloyd or Mario Anderson?
Marshawn Lloyd, come on.
No.
Mario
No.
Anderson's good, but
No.
Marshawn
I like
I don't
Anderson
think he's
better.
that good.
He's more committed. He has more to prove.
Oh, he's only committed. for
Here's
this
the problem.
season.
Here's the only thing I'll say.
Hey.
Lloyd was good in the bad games, and he was injured for the hard games.
Yeah.
So give me Anderson. I'll take Anderson.
Absolutely.
I like
Anderson.
Anderson.
Lloyd has never not played for USC. I'm just gonna put it out there.
Yeah,
It's there. But
you
there's,
have a point.
he's playing for the
Other.
not real USC right now. But it is what it is.
All right, listen, guys. If you're viewing this video, you've got to share. We are doing a $25 gift card giveaway for Amazon. So if you're watching this video, go on and share. If you're a fan of Midland Valley sports, make sure you share this video as well.
Tell your
Anybody that
friends.
shares this video, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your relatives.
Granny.
You know, if you want to wrap a present for Christmas early and present it to them, let it be the link to the show. So, but $25 gift card to Amazon we are giving away this week if you share this video on Facebook. Let it be known. All right, so we've gotten through our dumpster fire. We are going to now move into our picks of the week.
All right.
And we're going to start off with number 8, Oregon, taking on number 13, Utah.
Wow.
Utah. Utah, since week 1, has just consistently shown themselves kind of like the Cinderella offshoot. They really got our attention versus Florida. Now they're coming up against the Oregon Ducks, who've been literally flying all year, doing pretty well. So we got number 8, Oregon, taking on Utah. What do you think, Wilbur?
Wow, you would go to me rise my computer.
It's
like,
fine.
To spaz
Hey,
out.
that's the name of the game, man.
All right. Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Both teams, every week I think I have them figured out. Something goes wrong. I don't like Oregon had me. I'm trying to find the game. I had them beating Washington. They lose. Utah, I had them beating Oregon State. They lose. Each team has let me down, so I really don't know where to go because I don't fully trust either team. I do think Oregon is the better team, and you know, Bo Nix has really put his past struggles. Bo Pick's behind him. He's got like 8 years in the college football world to do that, so it's pretty easy. Their running game is pretty good, and their defense can show up on a good week. So, man, I'm just gonna go Oregon here. Good play it safe. I'm probably by a field goal. He doesn't know yet.
I don't know.
He's torn.
I didn't know
This
that
is-
either. He should go to
Listen,
Logan.
Utah has been like my team all year long. I picked them in just about every game they played. Had a magical pick last week against USC. You just don't know. Their
That was
quarterback.
pick of the week. I'll give it to you.
Yeah, I mean,
That
hey,
was pick of the week.
sometimes you get lucky and Utah beats USC for the 4th year in a row. But I think Oregon's going to take this one. I think they just had too much in their offense. Utah's offense isn't quite as high-powered as Oregon's is. I think their defense, both defenses are not going to play very well. Maybe like a 28-31 point game.
Wow. Interesting.
See how it goes.
Interesting.
Oregon.
Oregon. All right, Preston.
I'll say this: Utah has yet to play anybody that's really shown anything this year. I mean, USC was the only one. I mean, to this point, they played Florida, UCLA, and Oregon State. None of them are really great teams. So I think as far as strength of schedule, who Oregon has played, they've only lost once. That was to Washington. That was a close game. Bo Nix actually has the highest completion percentage in all of college football. Quick stat. I couldn't tell you the number, but I saw it today, so I don't know.
That's a fun
It was like 78% or something like that. Graham Mertz was up there, though. Crazy. He probably got all those from Carolina. So I'm definitely going to go Oregon. I think Bo Nix is the better quarterback in this situation. They played tougher teams. They have more experience in this game. So I think Oregon's going to win this game.
Yeah.
Pretty handily.
Yeah, I agree. I think Oregon. I think their offense just once it gets rolling is pretty much hard to stop. So I got the Ducks in this game as well. So.
78.4% is his completion percentage currently.
That's insane.
Yeah. I
pretty-
thought that's
pretty good.
Hey, Rattler's still there.
So he's in there.
Rattler could be so much higher if he had an offense.
We got to vote.
Rattler wasn't top 10.
We got to vote for Oregon. Miss Gloria's got Oregon as well.
Hey.
So, long-time viewer of the show. Appreciate you, Miss Gloria.
She a
We
goat.
got another vote in. That's a non-family member. Sophia.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
I know I'm late to the game, but Will's my favorite.
Hey, it's not about whether you're on time. It's just about the intent.
He wants to pick the Valley game. Bull Wington.
Yeah.
He's a Valley grad, right?
I don't know. We'll have to find
Mr.
out.
Billy, I was going to get it in there one way or the other, so don't
We
you
are.
worry.
Listen.
Don't you
Listen.
worry.
All right, for those of you that are not in our area, there's a huge game coming on Friday night. Midland Valley versus North Augusta. We'll talk about that later on in the show.
Yes, sir.
Big game. We got an elite running back at Midland Valley, and hopefully he'll light it up and come to Carolina, but we'll see.
All right, I got to pick.
You got to
I'm
pick.
going to vote.
But look at that last name. Oh,
No, I don't know who that is.
I don't know. I don't know who you are. I don't know. It's Amanda. All right. Moving on. All right. Beard. It writes itself. All right. Coming on with some interesting picks here. Clemson taking on NC State. No number. No rank. But man, we got a very big Clemson fan base here. That's why we pick them and talk about them every week. Clemson has continued to show that they still have a little glimpse of hope. Play calling, I think, might be the determining factor. Let us know in the comments what you think. Let's go Preston into this pick first.
Yeah, I mean, I know they lost a tough game last week against Miami. Was it Miami?
Yeah. Double overtime.
Close game. Miami's a good team. I think Clemson bounces back this week. NC State has not really shown much this year. I think Dabo comes out. He's got his team ready to roll. I think Clemson, wins this pretty easily.
Okay. Wilbur.
Yeah, I picked against Clemson last week. I know it hurt a lot of people's feelings. It was nothing personal. It was strictly business. And it was a business decision I won. Okay, let's point it out. I called it. But I'm going to go with Clemson this week. I think they're the better team over North Carolina State. I have a second uncle up in North Carolina. It's like a real uncle. He's my
Doesn't
dad's
everybody?
Uncle. Oh, listen. Okay, we have this huge rivalry. I always pick on North Carolina State. He always picks on South Carolina. I can't go with him, obviously. And I think Clemson's the better team. I think Shipley and Klubnik bounce back this week and put together a solid performance. I think Clemson by 14 this week.
All right, good pick. I agree. NC State, I definitely can't pick them. Got too many cousins that went to North Carolina. So I'm going to go with Clemson on this one. Good information here, Billy. Clemson leads the nation in turnovers. So I don't know if that's the bad sign of it. 133. Like
Klubnik only has 3.
You know what we lead the nation in?
What?
The other team's completion percentage.
Wow.
Yes,
Wow.
sir.
We really do. We're like last ranked in all FBS Division I and
That's okay.
Not pass protection.
It's okay. Don't change a thing.
Passing.
We want a new coach.
Hey, new
All
defense coordinator.
New coordinator.
Yeah.
Beamer's here for life.
And running back coach.
I'm going to take Clemson as well.
Whoa. Hey. Don't jump the gun here.
You're taking too long.
Tigers for me. I got Tigers as well.
You already called that.
That's fine. Tigers, go.
I'm gonna take
Go ahead. Clem.
Clemson
Okay.
is taking this game. Brennan Armstrong, the quarterback from North Carolina State, is not a very good quarterback. He has 5 touchdowns, 6 interceptions on the year.
Oof.
Which is not where you want to be at a D1 ACC school.
Not a good ratio.
That is not very good at all. Cade Klubnik has 13 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 1,600 yards. Clemson, all the way.
All right. Good
Big
picks,
game.
guys. All right. Let us know in the comment section what you think. Do not forget, I'm going to keep pushing it. We're doing a giveaway. If you share this video on Facebook, $25 gift card to Amazon. If you do it live or if you do it later on after the show, we'll get you in there for the drawing. We will draw names soon. So never too late. We'll let you know when we're drawing those picks. But, hey, next game, we're going to go ahead and talk about some Rocky Top. We got what is Tennessee ranked here? Number 21 Tennessee.
Hey,
Taking on the Wildcats, man.
Do something for me.
Listen.
Is that a
No,
okay? All right.
sorry.
I was thinking of like
They played in the Denver Valley game.
who's in concert Friday?
Oh,
Toby Mac.
Toby Mac. I was like, is that a Toby Mac song? No. So shout out.
Sorry, go ahead.
Hey, why not? I'll plug it. Toby Mac in concert Friday, North Augusta downtown. If you're looking for something to do with family, great, awesome thing.
Jack-o'-lantern, Jubilee.
Jack-o'-lantern Jubilee, North Augusta. So
Also,
go ahead.
a trunk or treat right here.
Oh yeah,
Saturday,
trunk or treat right here in the Valley community.
6 to 8,
6
right
to
here.
8.
Right where we're at.
This
This
whole
field.
field you see behind us will be full of all kind of things for your kids to do.
Free
So
food,
come
I
check
think.
it out.
Someone told me something.
hot dogs?
The free food only works out for you. So
Oh, cool.
I
Hey,
don't know how that.
my
We're gonna
bad.
get.
I was getting false.
We're gonna have to do a taste of the South here for our segment. But,
Yeah, I'm so down.
all right, we had a good hot dog. We had a
Hey,
good
the hot
burger.
dog.
The burger was delicious. The fries were
Right.
great.
Probably.
The fries there. All right, moving on. Getting right here. Rocky Top taking on the Wildcats. I'll lead this one. Why not?
Oh,
Why not? All right.
Win in row.
Win and row.
Win in
Shed some light on
60% of the time.
Please do tell us.
I think Rocky Top takes this one. Kentucky. I think here's what's so crazy about Kentucky. They look so good at the beginning of the year, and they look dangerous, but then they just kind of die off. I think Tennessee will be good in this game. I think they'll do well against the Wildcats. Wildcats probably run the ball pretty well. But Tennessee, if they come out thumping like they did against us, then we're in trouble. So, oh, look, we got a big old light. Don't know how that happened. That was cool. Hey, Tennessee, that's my phone. All right, Logan.
Kentucky is currently trending in the wrong direction. They're at 2 losses in a row.
Wow. I wonder where you went. There it is. He's got his own little poll going on in the comment section.
Okay.
Listen, when you control the board, things
Yes,
happen.
you want.
All right.
Wow.
All right. Sorry.
Yeah, but Kentucky's got 2 bad losses back-to-back weeks. I think it's going to be the 3rd week in a row they suffer a loss. Tennessee's just got way too much for them in their offensive game. Give me Tennessee.
Tennessee. All right. Wilbur.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a close game, but Kentucky's already let me down once this year. I'm not going to let them burn me twice. I think Joe Milton has enough in the passing game this week.
You remember when you picked Vandy?
Oh, boy. Were you ever so wrong?
That was insane.
I thought it was a joke pick. It was the first time we did like a rapid fire.
You might
It was. I'll give you
pick
that.
them right against Carolina.
Hey, I might. Okay.
We'll get there.
What in the Miss Gloria?
We'll get there.
What is this? Miss Gloria's got Preston in the comments here. I am hurt. I am hurt. That's
He
fine.
doesn't need pity votes, okay? Come on, Miss Gloria.
That's fine.
Tell us how you really
Listen,
feel.
he put in the work.
So what do we get for having the most favorites?
Where you at? Holly who's? Holly, she already said go Preston. So, all right.
All
Sorry. Once again.
Thank you, Miss Gloria.
Every time, dude.
Poor-
Every time
poor
while I'm
Lord.
picking, they start interrupting.
I know. Sorry.
I'm going to take Tennessee. Milton gets enough done. The running game's going to be solid. Kentucky's running back will rush for over 150 yards, but it won't be enough. Kentucky's defense lets them down in a heartbreaker. They lose on a last-second field goal.
Field goal. That close.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Preston.
I mean, if we really want to go back to dumpster fire of the week, I truly think Tennessee's a dumpster fire of the week.
Okay.
For them to have the lead and
Okay.
blow it,
Okay.
that bad of a lead to
Like,
Alabama.
When we were up 10 points. Yeah, I'll take a water. That'd be awesome.
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
Might as well.
This
Wow.
pick is sponsored by
This is the best hospitality.
Woo-hoo.
Look at this.
Good stuff.
Oh, keep passing me.
There we go.
Hospitality?
Thank you.
Hospitality.
Let's not take a moment. real quick and,
Absolutely.
We didn't know, right?
Yeah, there you go. Some good old Midland Valley water. Whoa.
Great host.
that's not quality HBO right there.
Were you done? You're done.
Yeah, that's sorry.
Yeah, so the dumpster fire of the week is truly Tennessee. They,
Okay.
they had the lead at halftime. They blew it to Alabama. Credit to Alabama for coming back. I mean, they're a better coach team, obviously. I'm taking Tennessee in this game. I think I just don't like Kentucky's offense. I mean, I don't like Devin Leary. I've said that all year. I think they have a good running game. I think their run game is probably just as strong as Tennessee's. I think that's what it comes down to is the running game. We'll see.
Wow.
Tennessee for the win, though.
All right. Well, we don't want to talk about giving up a loss at the end of the game because, 5 minutes left and you're up by 10 points. You should be losing the game. Zach will be happy about that. We'll talk about that later on probably. But, hey, we are going to get into another pick here. We're going to talk about Midland Valley Sports. We're going to bring Nolan on for a second. So appreciate you guys hanging in. Logan and Will, peace out. Get our Midland Valley graphic up. Once again, our show is sponsored by Midland Valley Sports. We appreciate them being our #1 sponsor. They hook us up with a special venue tonight. Great host, providing some awesome water. Me and Preston, both of our kids go and play sports here year in, year out. So we appreciate them as well. But on our show live tonight is Nolan. What's up, Nolan?
What's up, guys? I appreciate y'all having me, man.
All right, well, we're excited. This is a great venue, great championship game. Got a big crowd tonight.
Best yet, for sure.
Yeah, appreciate
This is not, and you continue growing every year.
Yeah.
Like it's insane. Y'all can't really see it, but behind us, you see the big mound. Up there is a bunch of stuff going on in the dark. We got fields going in. So, Nolan, what's kind of the timeline? How many fields you're going to have going forward?
Yeah, so like Dustin said, we've just been steady growing like crazy, and all glory goes to God, obviously. So we try not to take any credit for that. But what we are doing, we are expanding so that we can reach more in the community. We've had to turn away a lot of people, and I hate doing that. So directly behind me right here is going to be a field, a ball field, and then over to my left over here, we're going to have another ball field. So we're adding 2 more full-size ball fields. We can use those for full-size soccer games. We're getting ready to add flag football here. Then we can expand our baseball league as well and get into maybe some adult softball. So maybe get you guys out of retirement. get some adult soccer. So,
Hey,
I'm always in. Listen,
Middle Valley's always looking for a team to pummel. So we are that.
that's kind of why I retired. I got tired of losing.
That and the wood bat, that kind of killed it for me.
we need a tune-up game. So
Yeah,
good.
that's
Don't
good.
play
That works. We'll be your practice team.
But no, we're just a couple weeks away from sod going on the ground. So everything, we're about 90% done, and sod will go on the ground, and we'll be rocking and rolling.
You lean on the side yourself?
No, not
Not at all.
Look out.
All right, so you can't see it here on camera, but we actually have a pavilion on the other side of this camera, which kind of gave us inspiration at our church. We did that kind of inspiration. We got bathrooms here, concession stand. Same thing. We're going to do another one
Yeah,
on top of the hill as
we're
well.
going to make another one right behind home plate of this field, so it'll be the central location of everything. You'll be able. We're talking about doing that one 2 stories as well.
Wow.
So be to see kind of everything happening. That'll be the place to be.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that's coming up along with the ball field project. So yeah, a lot of things going on. It's been a lot of stress.
Yep.
A lot of permits, but it's coming along.
So how many? We're wrapping up soccer. How many soccer players did you have this year?
So the last 4 seasons, I've been right at 750 kids because that's the most that we can take on this one field. And so this past season, I bet I turned away 200 to 250 people. And we don't really promote anything other than just social media. So the reason that I do that is because I'm scared we're going to have a lot of people come and we don't have anywhere to put them. But all those problems are about to be gone, so that'll be really good.
So if you could, I know it's like on the spot, what makes Midland Valley sports special?
What I always say is everything we do, the big word for us is intentional. So whether it's, we have golf cart shows here, we're being intentional. We're trying to reach the community, do whatever small things we can, kind of the Chick-fil-A mentality, just kind of going the extra mile. We do devotions with all of our teams, the pregame or at halftime. But we keep that competitive aspect, and I think that's really been the big push for us is that we can keep good competitive games, but keep the right mindset. So that's really been the difference maker for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just twist it.
All right. Technical difficulty. Camera 1 died. So now we're on camera 2. It happens. You gotta love technology. Sorry, we got interrupted, but hey, we're back and we just locked the phone. Good times. What's your phone?
I'm going to say it out loud. Middle 3 times. Middle 3 times. Top, bottom, top. No.
We're professionals here.
No, I got you.
Dang.
Are you still live?
What happened?
It locked it.
Here, do one.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, mine's about to die anyways. What how it died so fast? Been playing with it this whole time.
All right, so we're back with me and Nolan. So sorry for the technical difficulties. We will get back to being live here in just a second. First phone died, second phone got locked out. So we're going to go with phone number 3 and see how this goes. But man, we're concluding our conversation with Nolan here. So we talked about the pavilion, we talked about the sports. What I was going to say before we got cut off, what's really cool during basketball season is Nolan will actually sub out some videos for the devotion to get some guys that played like college ball, some in the league, some in Europe stuff. So they'll put that on the screen. That's really cool. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, we had Muggsy Bove, we've had Robert Ory. We've had a couple of big name guys to send us some videos in. I'm working on Kevin Durant, so hopefully
that'd be solid. That'd be awesome. So, no, Adam, this is not the Blair Witch Project. I like that comment in the section. All right, we're going to go back to camera number 2. So bear with us here as we get back up and running. That's me. All right, let's go back to. We're on Will's?
Yep.
All right. All right, there we go. Hey, we're back. So I'm going to get off of mine here. Man, thanks, guys, for tuning with us. Don't forget, check out Midland Valley as well. All right, so before I let you go, Nolan, we are going to talk about Carolina. It's not the most fun thing to talk about in the world, but we're going to talk about Carolina taking on
Texas.
Texas A&M at A&M. So, Nolan, give us your quick pick for that.
My heart wants to say Carolina. I've been riding with them. Oh, sorry. So we got what?
No, sorry. We're changing the draft.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell the draft.
So my heart wants to say Carolina. I'm a diehard South Carolina fan, big time Spencer Rattler advocate. But we're down a couple wide receivers.
Right.
You guys saw the news. Legette's probably out as well. Juice Wells not back. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to roll the 12th man. I hate it.
I know.
12th man A&M.
I think Juice is old now. I think he's truly old now.
It's hard to tell with the coach talk with Beamer because it sounds like, he's like, I don't know, we'll see. But, oh well. All right. So, Nolan picks the A&M, Aggies, Shelties, and Crazy Colt that's down in Texas. But Nolan, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you for pushing through to the technical difficulties. But once again, let's throw that graphic up for Midland Valley, our sponsor here for Saturday College Pick'em Show. Appreciate Nolan his time with us. So,
Hey,
great
real fast. Where'd
right.
you graduate from?
I graduated high school.
Yeah, high school.
High school from Midland Valley. So
Whoa,
Midland
yes,
Valley-
sir.
All right, so real quick.
Midland Valley's running the table. They're running the table.
Okay, so next game
I think it's gonna get ugly too. It's gonna be
against Northwestern.
Yeah.
Maybe a fight.
I think it'll be 3+ touchdowns.
Wow. All by
Absolutely.
Dunbar.
Yeah.
Listen,
Dunbar's gonna have to deal with it.
I was at that game last week. The moment they don't give that boy the ball, it kills me.
Yeah.
Like, the backup's good. McNair, I think his name is.
Right.
He's good. But listen, every time Dunbar touched the ball, it was gone. Like, 30+ yards every time. So, like, listen, run it 40 times.
Right.
Do what you got to do.
All right. Hey, thanks, Nolan. Appreciate you, man. Absolutely. Thanks for hosting us
Appreciate
tonight.
you. Appreciate this ministry and all he does for this. And my kids play here. His kids play here. So, thank you for everything he does here. So,
All right. Throw up our graphic for Midland Valley. Promote them. Let them know if you want to get some more information about how your kid can play in the local area here. MVC Sports. There's an email, phone number, and check them out on Facebook. Everything gets updated on Facebook, so check them out there. All right, so we're going to finish talking about Carolina and A&M, and then we will get to the game of the week. Number 1, Georgia taking on the Florida Gators. So, all right, let's check this out here. How's our audio out there? Everybody can hear us pretty well, decently now? Good. All right, so A&M taking on our South Carolina Gamecocks. We're going to be at Texas. So we got Nolan's take. He's got the Aggies. Logan, what you think?
So, if you think back a couple of weeks where Carolina played Tennessee in Neyland Stadium,
Yeah.
And stupidly enough, we called it their Super Bowl, and they made it a Super Bowl victory.
Yeah.
They beat the junk out of us.
Sure.
I think it's the same way this week for Texas A&M. It's a big game. They want that revenge on us from last year. And I think they're going to get it. We're absolutely an atrocious football team. It's kind of embarrassing what we're putting on the field. So A&M probably about
Yeah, I agree. I think A&M's got this. They're not necessarily back to, I think, where they can be. But I think A&M's looking like a better football team between us, between injuries, between a defensive backfield that can't stop anything. I think A&M probably is going to embarrass us. I hate to say it. I want Carolina to win. I want Carolina always to win. But with this game, I really feel like A&M's going to dominate. So,
Did you watch Beamer's press conference?
yeah,
Me
absolutely.
and Preston, I saw Preston in the chat, and I texted him, and I was like, "This is legit."
Yeah.
What we were talking about right now. He was talking about like how our offensive line is so bad, and that we're going up against Buford first round picks. But you do that in every single game. When you play Division I football in the toughest conference in the country, you're playing first round picks no matter what position you play. And so I don't understand how you expect your fans to have high hopes and find some joy when you already are giving it up to them. So,
Yeah. Well, it's not all, it's not all bad. We definitely got good news for Norris Sellers' brother, who's got committed today. There's a live view of the pavilion, so check that out. There's the canteen store. All right. So, Wilbur, what's your thoughts, man? What you got with this game, A&M and Carolina?
Yeah, let's just put it like this. Beamer said everybody on the team was questionable. We don't have hardly any offensive line to play. We're going to have to play basically walk-ons if it comes to it. All our receivers are hurt. It doesn't really equal. So I'm going to take Texas A&M.
Yeah.
But Midland Valley.
We're gonna get there.
I
We're
know.
gonna get there. Don't worry.
I'm going to plug them.
Preston.
I mean, I'm debating.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
this is not A&M's best game. Best team, excuse me.
Sure.
We've beaten better teams in the past. We have a better quarterback.
We lost a lot worse too. It's very true.
We only beat one team.
I feel like we almost have to win this game. I feel like Beamer's just gonna be like, throw it, just throw it. Every time, just bombs every time. What do you gotta lose?
He don't have time to throw the ball. A&M's pass rush is better than Missouri's, and Missouri
Yeah, you're right.
They have
terrible
they
last
definitely
season.
have like I think they're leading the SEC in sacks.
29 sacks on the season.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go ahead. I don't want to.
It's a sad day in college sports here, where none of us are picking Carolina. But hey, that's reality of the situation. But you know what's great? All seasons come to an end, so it's possible that next year will be better. So that's what we hope for.
Right.
And as they say, the hope is what kills you. So, all right. Well, thanks so much for tuning in with us. Thank you for hanging in with us. I know we got some crazy technical difficulties tonight, but we're at a new venue, trying out new things. But man, we're so excited. That's why we need more sponsors. So we have Midland Valley as our core sponsor. If you'd like to sponsor the show, hit us up in the comment section. We'd love to promote your business, your ministry, whatever you have, and appreciate what you're doing. Don't forget, we're going to get to our pick of the week here in just a second. But I'm going to make one more plug. If you share this video, we are doing getting crazy about it. We're giving away a $25 Amazon gift card. So make sure you share this on Facebook, and we'll give you a shout out and see who wins. All right, Jeremy's got some thoughts on the game here, so let's throw that up real quick. Carolina scores 3 times through the air, but can't stop anything on defense. 41.
Sounds about right.
I agree. I think that's a great stat right there. I think that's pretty accurate.
I don't know if it is. You never know if we're going to find the end zone or not.
Yeah, last week proved to be a very difficult situation in
Yeah.
Missouri. So,
We can kick field goals.
Yeah, hey,
all right. So quickly, let's talk about Midland Valley, North Augusta. We don't have a graphic for that game, but we'll talk about them here in a second. Big game in the local area. Midland Valley's got a run back, Dunbar, who is phenomenal. He scored how many? 4 touchdowns last week.
He had 313 yards, 4 touchdowns on 9 carries.
Yeah, insane. So right now he's hoping to get at Carolina, hoping to get a call from Beamer.
He got 20 D1 offers, and he got over 1,600 yards rushing on the year through 9 games.
He's sick. We saw him live last week. What was really cool is our church was able to feed the football team last week. So we got to see him live and in person there, and then also during the game.
Dude, this game's at PKs right now.
Right now, we got
This is
the
intense.
championship is down to penalties, so it's going to get crazy here. Probably get a little noisy. So y'all just be prepared for that. But real quick, let's run through our Midland Valley Mustang versus North Augusta Yellow Jackets. Wilbur, since you're an alma mater for Midland Valley, let's hear it.
Yeah, man. What those people get caught up in is Dunbar is elite. Our backup running back has almost 800 rushing yards on the season.
Right.
The backup, the second string.
Yeah.
And the third string and the fourth string both have over 100 yards rushing. And so our rushing game is elite. Our passing game can get the ball, can get the job done. Our defense has been stout all season. I think we beat North Augusta by a touchdown. Be prepared because it's going to be packed and it probably will be a fight of the game.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a lot of.
There's a lot on the line between these two teams.
Hey, this is for the region championship.
It's huge.
First time for us to go undefeated. Number 1 seed in the playoffs. Huge. Let's go.
Preston.
Mustang.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is Midland Valley's year. I hope it is. I'd really, love to see Midland Valley go all the way. I know that they've had some rough years in the past and some 0-win seasons in the past. And they've really turned it around. The coach has done phenomenal things. Great guy. We got to meet him last week as our church fed their team last week. And I know some guys that their sons play on this team. And so it's a big deal. Big deal for this community, for this team to be as good as they are. And just, I heard the game's already sold out. So,
Wow.
I mean, if you show some gate tickets, but online is sold out. So, I'm hoping to make the game. Hopefully, it's not sold out where I can't get in, but I'm hoping to be there and pull from Midland Valley. So, I'm gonna go with them. I think Dunbar has the game that we all expect him to have. I think he rushes for 300 yards. He's a real deal. I've seen a lot of good running backs in my lifetime, and not my career, but my lifetime, my career. But we saw Jamie Harper back in the day, number 3 running back in the nation. Went on to go play for Clemson. We saw him pick live on ESPN at Trinity. But I think Dunbar's just as good. I think he's a top 5 running back. I think hopefully Carolina offers him. I don't know what we're waiting on, but it needs to happen. So
It's sickening to see him on the sideline with Carolina gloves
and shoes.
No offer.
And shoes.
no offer. It's insane. So I got Mustangs.
I got Mustangs.
Easy. All right.
Mustangs.
The moment you've all been waiting for.
Dang, dang.
We are going to go to our game of the week. We got Georgia taking on the Florida Gators. Man, always a crazy game. Always a crazy game down in Jacksonville, Florida. If you don't know much about this rivalry, it's interesting that they always play in Jacksonville. It's always packed out. It's always crazy. And it's always hard to pick a winner consistently. I just saw a highlight this morning when Mark Richt had the purposeful too many players on the field celebrating to kind of throw off Florida when Tim Tebow was there. And they pulled it off, and Georgia won that year. So it was crazy. This game is nuts. What is it? The world's largest cocktail party? I think it's the nickname. But with our game of the week, we got 2 special guest pickers. I'll bring them on now. We got Mr. Mark Ivy. He's a worship pastor at Trinity Baptist Church, as well as Zach Potter, who is a pastor down in Orlando at Lakeside Baptist. So I'm at Lakeside Church. I got Mark. What's up, Mark? And we got Potter. What's up, dude? How are you doing?
Hey guys, how are y'all?
Doing great, man. I like the jersey, bringing the heat.
Yeah.
So whose number is that?
This is actually a Rex Grossman jersey. So back in the day.
Wow, Rex Grossman, Chicago Bear, Rex Grossman.
Yeah.
Insane. I like that. All right, Mark, how's it going there?
Going very well. I have to correct you guys. I know that we've had a lot of technical difficulties tonight, but every single one of you boys called the college Louisville. It is called Louisville. And if you want to gain some respect with opposing fan bases, you at least got to say their name right.
That's right.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'll give you that. All right, so
That Louisville.
Louisville. Yeah. So, all right. So, big game this week. We're going to kind of talk it up a little bit, and I'm going to turn it over to you guys because you guys have the insider knowledge. You guys bleed orange and blue and red and black. So, we're going to get you guys to kind of pick out the pick here. But for us, we're letting go. Oh, sorry. All right. I'm trying to find it works out for everybody. Oh, that's terrible. I'm messing everything up. There we go. Let's just go with that one. Our helmets are blocking our camera here, so it's fine. We don't need to be seen. Yeah, Logan, you're just stand up, press. You're fine. All right. So Georgia, number 1, taking on Florida, neutral site game. It's interesting. Everybody thinks Jacksonville's flooded with Gators, but really Jacksonville is split. I mean, it is 50-50 Bulldog Gator.
You're right.
Even though Gainesville is not too far away, there's a huge Georgia fan base. Just from my time living in Jacksonville, it really feels more like South Georgia than North Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the game that kind of really makes it feel that way because it's still got a lot of Georgia roots in it. But Florida is tricky. Let's put it that way. Consistently, they made this game interesting. When we played Florida, we had our chance, we had our moment, and they came in and won it at the end. And it hurts every time. Seems like it's been that way for a little while. But, hey, we're talking about Georgia. Georgia, one of the most consistent teams in the last few years. Man, back-to-back national champs. I mean, what else can you say about a resume? So, Preston, give us your thoughts on this game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's tough. I think Georgia is on the decline, but I think they're just too stacked. I mean, everywhere you look, they got 5-star players, 4-star players. I think Florida has had some tough tests this year. For them to be 4-2, 5-2, whatever they are, 5-2. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Nobody expected them to be as good as they are this year. I think Graham Mercer surprised a lot of people this year. He actually was top 5 in completion percentage Probably most of that came from Carolina. But with that being said,
Yeah.
so was Georgia. Georgia, what's his name? The quarterback. I can't
Carson
think.
Beck.
Carson Beck. Golly, I can't think right now. He was top 10. So I think it comes down to just depth.
Yeah.
And I think Georgia's got the depth. I think Georgia wins this game. I'll give them by 17.
Wow.
Yeah, I think you just have the depth to stop them. The defense is pretty stout.
Interesting spread. I like it. All right. Logan, thoughts on this ball game?
So there was a quote from Kirby Smart a few years ago where he said that he just thinks about this game, thinks about beating Florida all year long. 365 days a week is all he thinks about. As an alumnus of Georgia, is what he thinks about. He doesn't, it's like us and Clemson to them, but in the middle of the season. Mertz is a decent quarterback. Like we have all just said, most of his stats come from South Carolina last week in an atrocious defense. Carson Beck is looking good. The only downside to Georgia this week is that they do not have Brock Bowers for the foreseeable future. And if they're going to lose, they need to lose right now.
Yeah.
But they're not losing right now. It's going to be Georgia rolling over the Gators this weekend.
Wow.
In Jacksonville.
Wow. Score.
Give me 14.
14. Okay.
The spread's 14 and a half, so he's pretty much going with the spread.
We're on it.
Yeah,
He's on it.
spread.
Little cheat sheet. I like it. Now, man, it's so hard to pick against Florida. Like, remember week 1? We were all like,
Dumpster fire.
Dumpster fire of the week.
fire. Florida's not going to be any good. We ought to be better than Florida. But every game, it seems like Florida's scrapping out wins and making it happen. Will, thoughts on this ball game?
Yeah, you never can count out Florida, clearly. I thought they were a dumpster fire at the beginning of the season. They proved me wrong. Mertz has ended up being better than I thought he was. I always knew the rushing game was good, but I didn't think it was good enough to carry him. The defense has been surprisingly pretty well for them. Georgia has some injuries right now. They're a little vulnerable. They have Brock Bowers out for pretty much till the playoffs, or at least the SEC championship game. I do think Georgia will lose a game before they get to the SEC championship.
Wow. Before the championship.
Before the championship. Wow. I think you'll have
Interesting. Look at the last 5 games.
You might have a one-loss Bama and a one-loss Georgia in the SEC championship.
Who's the last 5 games? They're playing Florida, Mizzou, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Georgia Tech.
That's what I'm saying.
That's tough.
They're going to lose to either Missouri, Ole Miss, or Tennessee. And I'm calling it without Brock Bowers. They become a little bit more dimensional. They're not as explosive. They're still explosive, don't get me wrong, but they're not as explosive. I think they lose one of those, but they're not going to lose against Florida. I think this one's too hype for them. They come prepared. They're going to win. I'm going to take Georgia by 10.
Wow.
In this one.
Okay. Yeah, as much as I would love to pick the underdog here, I think Georgia, it's just depth. I think we talked about it all year long. What separates Georgia from everybody else is depth. I mean, Bowers is down. Their tight end behind him is no scrub, as they would say in the 90s. They're good. They're stacked. What hurts with most teams is when you lose your first 3 starters, you're out. You're done. Your season's toast. So I got Georgia. I think it's gonna be close though. I think 10-point game. I don't think Georgia's gonna run away with it as much. I think they keep things interesting. I think they might have a struggle first half. That's what's so weird about Georgia this season. Either they come out and struggle first half, and then they just get it together second half, or they just destroyed Kentucky. And so you don't know which coin flip you're going to get with this game. But I'm assuming you're going to get to Georgia. Georgia's going to get a win. I think it's going to be close. I think Florida's going to just have that X factor of who knows what you can predict kind of thing happen. But Georgia by 10. So, all right. Now we got our picks out of the way. We're done. We're going to get to the main people here. But before y'all give me your picks, I'm going to pick your brain for a second. Mark, have you ever been to the game?
Yeah, I've been twice since we moved to Jacksonville 11 years ago. I've never seen them lose in person.
Wow. So if you're live, they're winning.
Well, I'm not going to say that, but yeah. So far it's been the truth.
Yeah. All right. Potter, have you been to the game?
I have not been to in person.
Man, this is a game I would love to chalk up. Like I said, I've been there. I've been to Florida, Tennessee in the swamp. That was pretty awesome. But, man, to get to Georgia, Florida, and Jacksonville, That'd be huge.
I'll tell you.
Especially
I'll tell you a funny story. My sister is flying into town from Birmingham, and she's married to an Alabama fan. Bless her heart. And she's flying into town because she's never been to Georgia, Florida, or Florida, Georgia, depending on what fan you are. And so she asked me, she goes, I want to make sure we're sitting on the right side of the stadium, because if you've ever been to the game, the stadium is perfectly split in half. Half of it's blue and half of it's red. And so I told her mistakenly that we were the home team. And so she bought 3 premier 50-yard line club level seats. I mean, we are going to be sitting pretty, but we're going to be sitting right in the middle of every Florida fan. And so she's not real happy with me, but we're going to be there Saturday.
Might as well. That is nuts. Absolutely nuts. But
That's cool.
Hey, you can't beat the venue. You can't beat this rivalry. What's crazy is like what you get in college football is you have random people sitting in random places, so you never know what's going to happen. But man, I've been in the Swamp, pretty electric stadium. It was fun at night. I haven't been up to Georgia. My dad is gone. I've never been up there for a game. I'd love to do that one day. But Zach, what are you thinking with this game? What do you think is going to be the X factor? Don't give me your score. Just give me your X factor. What's going to be the thing that gets Florida to win this ball game?
X factor to me is I think Kentucky exposed our biggest weaknesses, which are on the defensive side of the football. We have some big guys up front, but we're not deep. We're good with the front, the first 4, but once you roll in the backup defensive lineman, it kind of goes a little bit down from there. So the key to beating Florida is, can you consistently run the football? Because our secondary is incredibly young. We're going to start 2 true freshman safeties. We got a sophomore corner, junior corner, and then all the backup corners are freshmen. And so we're very, very talented secondary, but they're young. But the temptation could be to try to air it out because of the freshmen. But I think the X factor is if Georgia sticks to a solid game plan of keeping the ball on the ground, I think it could wear Florida down quickly, and they could get up in a hurry, and they could hold a lead and just ride off into the sunset. So I think to me that's the X factor, is if Georgia commits to a running game for the bulk of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Mark, give us your X factor. What do you think is going to be the thing that gets Georgia over the top?
I think I am probably one of the most apologetic Georgia fans, lifelong Georgia fan. Grandfather played in the Redcoat band. I mean, we bleed red and black. But anybody who's been a fan as long as I have, who remembers the Ray Goff years, who remembers the Spurrier years when they were at Florida, we are all you won't find rabid Georgia fans. Every Georgia fan has a tinge of when's the other shoe going to drop kind of a thing. And so these last 2 back-to-back national championships have been like, what is going on? Is the eastern sky about to split kind of a thing? And so one of the things I think the X factor is this: Georgia this year has proven they aren't the teams of the last 2 years. They're talented. I think they're deep. But they're not Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis and Nolan Smith athletic like they were. And I'm not saying they're not athletic, but they're not them. And so in Georgia this year, it doesn't matter if we played Ball State. It doesn't matter if we played whoever it is. We play to the level of our competition. Instead of going out and dominating, we end up kind of playing to that level. And it is as frustrating as anything else. I think Florida is hitting their stride right now. I think they're starting to figure it out. I think Billy Napier is a good coach. I think he's recruiting now at a high level, which has been Florida's kryptonite the last couple of several years, is their recruiting. So I think the X factor is this. I think they potentially can expose us by throwing the ball. I think anybody is going to have a hard time running against Georgia. I just do. I mean, I think you're going to struggle. I think that was proven with Kentucky, who we took a 400-yard rusher the week before and held them to 51 against us. I think we're going to stop the run, but I also think that you can throw against us. I think we'll unless Georgia really gets in the grill. I think it's potential you can do some soft coverage pieces and surprise Georgia, especially at the start of the game.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I'm with you. I think Georgia, it's kind of like the old the Saban mentality. We're going to take the best thing you have and take it away. And I think Georgia's mastered that. I think that's just become the role with Kirby Smart. I mean, he's a smart dude. I mean, that's why Beamer worked for him. Had some time at Georgia, learned a lot under Kirby Smart. Beamer has nothing but great things to say about Kirby Smart, just because he learned so much from underneath him, how to organize the schedule, how to organize a team. And so I think Kirby Smart's a great coach. But I do feel like Florida is trending. I'll give you that. I agree with that. I think Florida hitting their stride. I think they're starting to look dangerous, starting to look scary. I think a lot of people are going to be paying attention to that Florida State game. This is going to be a real interesting ball game. Because Florida State, they are undefeated, but they have shown where they might lay an egg. They might have a trip-up game, and I think the Gators are sitting there. Yeah, I think the Gators are licking their chops, thinking this is going to be it.
Last week. Louisville.
You almost have to chew your tongue a little bit.
I can't do it.
All right, so here's the moment of truth. All right, let's go with Zach. Zach, what is your prediction for this game? What's your score?
So, okay, I'm going to give the hypothetical scenario that I hope happens, and that is I hope Georgia tries to get Carson Beck to settle in early by giving him some opportunities to throw the football. And Florida is going to play press man coverage, sit on some routes, maybe get an early turnover. In my opinion, I think the difference maker in this game, if you look at the last 5 to 6 years, the difference maker in the game has always been who has the veteran quarterback. And no matter who has the more talent, what record is coming into the game, the veteran quarterback usually has come out on top over the last few years. And I think Carson Beck is a good quarterback, but he hadn't played in Jacksonville yet. And so I know Graham Mertz hasn't either, but there's a difference to somebody who has some experience. And so I'm looking at this game, and I look at a young quarterback that Georgia has. I look at an experienced quarterback in Florida. For the first time this year, we will actually be healthy. A lot of people haven't realized that. We have not had our entire offensive line all year. We haven't had our full slate of receivers. We haven't had all of our tight ends, and we haven't had our entire secondary all year. And so coming off the bye week, we are as healthy as we've been. And so I actually think Florida comes into Jacksonville, and I think they shock the nation and get a win. I think that Florida is able to get up early. And I think the score is going to be 27-24, a 3-point win in Jacksonville. And I give the edge just because of and listen, the last couple of years I picked Georgia to kill us. But I look at it this year, and I think there's a moxie that comes with Graham Mertz. We haven't seen somebody in Gainesville that has that kind of leadership intangibles in quite some time. Yeah. And he has the ability. Everybody called him a game manager in the beginning of the year, and I just didn't believe it. You listen to his press conferences, listen to how he leads. He can win you a football game. And so I look at where Carson Beck is right now. He'll probably be better next year. But I look at where he is now, and I look where Graham Mertz is at. And when I just look at the quarterback play, I give the edge to Florida.
Yeah, wow. Good pick. Hey, I love it. I love seeing it. I think that's what makes this game beautiful, because I think you can see any scenario laid out just because it's so tense. So, all right, Mark, give us your thoughts. Ball game. Who's winning? What's the score?
You're right. What you were saying earlier. This is all. It's usually just a coin flip, because rivalry games are just that way. Sometimes the ought to be winner ends up being the loser. Here's what I think. I think a lot has been made of Brock Bowers' injury, and trust me, as a fan of Georgia, we are all just gutted by it. Brock Bowers was the 2020 number one tight end in the country coming out of high school. The 2021 number one tight end coming out of high school is a kid by the name of Oscar Delp, who Shane Beamer famously tried to recruit from SEC media days. The 2022 number one tight end in the country is a kid by the name of Lucky Lawson. Those are Brock Bowers backups. So here's what you can say. Here's what you can say is this. Would you rather have a healthy Brock Bowers and the majority of your team be hurt, or would you rather have the majority of your team actually finally getting healthy and Brock Bowers be hurt? I think it's a coin flip, but I do think Georgia has enough. Carson Beck not only has played in Jacksonville, the kid is from Jacksonville, won a state championship with Mandarin High School. And by the way, he's been in the system for 4 years. He's had to wait his turn behind Jake Fromm and a surging Stetson Bennett who played. And so nobody knows the offense better. Even Georgia fans are starting to question if Mike Bobo knows what he's doing as the offensive coordinator. But then they turn around and they look that Georgia has the number 3 offense in the country. So I would say it just depends on what Georgia team shows up. If Georgia, Kentucky, if that team shows up, it's going to be ugly. If Georgia, Auburn, that team shows up, then it's going to be a dogfight. No pun intended. So I think Georgia is currently picked by 14.5. I think that's the line. I will say Georgia wins either way. I don't know that they cover. I don't think they cover the 14.5. I'm really kind of leaning on that 10 point, and I'm hoping that it's a 24 point.
Yeah, stress-free Saturday.
Yeah. We need those.
What time is that? 3:30? Is it Nike?
It's never night game.
Never mind. It's got to be 3:30 or 12. Yeah, 3:30. 3:30.
That's a good
CBS.
That's
Yeah,
a really good time.
that's Georgia, Florida, man. That's it. I mean, it's game of the week. I don't care what Florida's ranked. They're not ranked, but you cannot not watch this game. So,
And listen, 3 of our kids from our academy are players for Florida. You know, you got Marcus Burke at wide receiver, played for us at Trinity. You got Austin Barber, starting offensive lineman, played for Trinity. Backup running back, Trayon Webb, played for Trinity. And I hope all 3 of those kids rock it and do a great job. But at the end of the day, go you hairy dogs.
Good. All right. Hey, Zach, final word, Zach. What you got, man?
Final word. Here's what I would say. Regardless of the outcome on Saturday, I believe in Billy Napier, and I think Florida's coming. And I think Florida's going to be – you look at the kids they've already got in this class. First of all, you look at the kids that are freshmen this year and how much they're contributing. Even if they had a lot of 4-stars, even though they only had 1 5-star from the previous class, it's evident Billy knows how to evaluate, and he knows how to get the right kids in the room, and he knows how to develop, and he's got a good staff. And right now we've got, I think, 3 5-stars, and they're trying to flip 3 more, and they're trying to sign that kid from IMG, that number 1 offensive tackle, Jordan Seaton. So when you look at what Billy's building and you look at the start of the 25 class, it's kind of like what Steve Spurrier said. You know, University of Florida is like a bear in hibernation. And if you wake it up, you better watch out. And Spurrier did it in the 90s, and Urban did it for 4 years in the early 2000s. And Florida's been a bear in hibernation ever since. And I think Billy Napier is the guy. And I'm a fan that is willing to wait 4 years for Florida to get back in contention, to have hopefully a 15-year consistent stretch where we're competing year in and year out for championships. And I think that's what Billy Napier is building at Florida. So regardless of the outcome Saturday, Florida's coming. And I think Georgia better try to get as many wins as they can, because it's going to be more of a dogfight in years to come.
I agree wholeheartedly. The
Here-
question is, will Florida's leadership allow him time to grow and to recruit these people? That's the question.
Mhm.
But I agree with that wholeheartedly. I think Billy Napier is a stud coach.
Mhm.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. Both Georgia and Florida, top places to get recruits. I mean, if Florida could just hold on to the recruits in the state,
Mhm.
there would be nobody could touch them.
Mhm.
And same could be said of Georgia. If they would just own the recruits in the state. Now, South Carolina lives and breathes by going into Georgia, going into Florida, because we're the smallest state in the SEC, not a huge amount
Split
of
with
talent.
Clemson.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and we got
I don't
split
know
with
how
Clemson.
you guys recruit being in,
Mhm.
you know, in the same state as Clemson and just having to compete with the Clemson and the Georgias and their money, you know, for recruiting.
It's hard. Yeah.
It's
We're
tough.
out recruiting Clemson in the state of South Carolina right now.
Yeah.
Right now we are, yeah.
Last 2 years, we dominated Clemson in the state.
Because people are buying into Beamer ball,
Yeah.
but this year's not helping.
Yeah, that's their.
I will say this. Even though I picked Florida to win, pull an upset, I still think Georgia goes to Atlanta, and I still think Georgia's in the playoff. I think Florida.
Yeah.
Look at Florida's remaining schedule. Other than Arkansas, they got at LSU, at Missouri, home against Florida State. You know, there's no way they're winning out. So Florida's at least going to drop another game. Georgia won't. I think Georgia will win out after this. But when you say, I agree with you as earlier when you said Georgia would be 11-1 in Atlanta. I agree with that, and I think the one loss is to Florida. But I still think Georgia wins out. Florida will drop at least one more, and Georgia will play Bama in Atlanta. I still think that plays out, and Georgia will be in the playoffs. So yeah.
Absolutely. No, strong. All right. Last word, Mark, and we're finished.
Go Dogs.
I like it. Hey, that's it, man. That's it. All right, guys. Hey, thank you so much for jumping in with us. Hey, do me a favor if y'all would share this as well with your fan base. I know you guys got a good little following there. Appreciate y'all taking time on your Thursday. We might have you back on later on when we get to rivalry week. Let me ask you this question. We'll be finished. Where is this rivalry between Georgia, Georgia Tech, and Georgia, Florida? And then, Zach, I want you to think about this. This game versus Florida State. Mark, what do you think about that? Is this game more important, or is Georgia?
Yeah, no, Georgia Tech has turned into a high school team over the last. I mean, the last time they were relevant was probably 1990 when they won the national championship, and even that year they shared it with Colorado. They just haven't been good, you know. And so I think this new coach that they have, who was new last year, I think he's a great coach. He brought him back against a stupid call that Miami made, obviously, but beat Miami this year. But for sure, the Florida Georgia is bigger than Georgia Tech.
Yeah, I agree. All right, Zach, thoughts? Seminoles, or you got the Dolphins?
Yeah, what's interesting is if you even go back in the 90s, I would have rated the rivalry Florida State, Tennessee, Georgia for the Gators, because that was the Phil Fulmer, Steve Spurrier days. And I would say in the 90s, if we beat Tennessee, we would win the SEC. And then Florida State was always who's going to play in the Natty. You know, the winner of that game, Bobby Bowden and Steve Spurrier. That was the 90s. And then there was it flipped, you know, with Mark Richt and now with Kirby. So I'd say with Florida, because I think in the last 20 games, we're 17-3 now against Tennessee, or 18-2, something crazy. So I would say Florida State is still the top dog for Florida when it comes to a rivalry. You've got to beat the Seminoles. There's a lot of factors with that. Recruiting's involved. A lot of kids that grew up playing against each other play more against each other in that Florida State game than Florida Georgia. But right now, I'd say Florida's rivalries would be Florida State 1, Georgia 2. And that's not necessarily a knock to Georgia as much as it is just honestly the hatred a lot of Florida and Florida State fans have for each other and the players and, you know, all of that. I actually would be curious from Mark to hear if I agree with you that Georgia Tech isn't that big, but is there a comparison with Georgia, Florida, and Georgia, Auburn when it comes to those rivalries? You know, is there a feeling of one's bigger than the other?
No, I mean, here's the thing. I think the deal with Georgia, Florida is the fact that it's in a neutral site. Now, listen, if Georgia, Florida ever went home and home, that's when you're going to see, you know, I would actually even push for that only because
I
of
would too.
recruiting, because we're
Mhm.
both losing a great opportunity to recruit, a week of recruiting,
Sure.
because you cannot recruit to a neutral site game apparently.
Right.
And so Auburn, it's the oldest rivalry. It's Georgia's longest, and with this new realignment of the SEC, I don't even think Georgia plays Auburn next year, which is crazy. It's the
That's crazy.
first time in decades. So or at least since the 40s. So for us, I think it really is. For years, again, especially in the Richt years, it was in South Carolina. I think you guys call it the Orange Crush too. Y'all have Tennessee, Florida, and Clemson. Well, for us, it was like every year, Georgia's always been competitive, but if we beat Florida, Tennessee's whipping us. And our Orange Crush is Auburn, Tennessee, and Florida. And so just recently in the last couple of years, Georgia's been able to put it together for a full season. And so I'm telling you, I'm the most apologetic Georgia fan. Like, I think we're going to get beat every week. And Missouri, I'm just telling you, dude, Missouri is a tough out, and so is us. And just for good measure, let's throw Tennessee in there. I mean, Georgia could lose 3 of the next 4. So who knows? I'm hoping not, but that's what it is. That's the way it is.
It's a scary world. That's the thing. I mean, like you said, you can bounce back, and your team can get stronger from losing Bowers, or your team will really show like that's a huge miss, a big hole.
Yeah.
So, man, I mean, we're Carolina bias here. We all of our hopes and dreams went down with Juice Wells. Kid came in, scored a touchdown against Georgia, and gets pulled out of the game, and I'm like, well, there it goes. There's the other season, right? Kind of ended, and now our other X factor, Leggett, is hurt, concussion, and it's like once 2 guys are out, I mean that's it. That's Carolina. Now we're
practice today though.
This is a fun thing that Shane Beamer talked about. This is just so y'all can somehow feel for us, okay? Mm-hmm. For our practice squad, Beamer said we don't even have enough players to do a practice squad, but he said for the practice squad, in order to show a left guard and a left tackle, we had 2 tight ends fill in that spot, freshman tight ends.
Goodness.
In order to just have a scout team. Like that's where we're at as a program. We got 3 freshmen on offensive line. It's just it's tough. And
is Beamer on the hot seat?
Strength and conditioning coach.
Yeah.
Dustin, do you think Shane Beamer's on the hot seat?
Yeah. I think that's
what I'm saying.
Every South Carolina fan has that tattooed on their back. Wait till next year. So
Zach asked if Beamer's on the hot seat.
Is Beamer on the hot seat? Oh wow.
Beamer's not on the hot seat.
Beamer is not. Beamer, if Beamer does not handle this next hire correctly, he will definitely be on the hot seat. We got to get an offensive coordinator. Jason Brown. Hey, everybody's favorite Jason right here, coming in with a comment. Hold on.
Jason Brown.
All right. He is such a college hater. This rivalry hasn't been relevant since the days of Tebow. Come on. Jason, you're just a silly man. You know that? You wear silly Hawaiian shirts. But it's all good. We still love Jason Brown. I live and die. Oh, Zach's hanging off the roof. So, all right. Hey, guys, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate our guest picks. Mark, Zach, sign you guys off. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you guys. Appreciate y'all.
See y'all.
See you, Zach.
All right. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in with us. Man, I hope you guys like the venue. Let us know if you want us to see us in all kind of different locations. Hey, we'll come to your house. Why not? Sponsor the show. We'll show up, whatever, for birthday parties. We'll do it all. But, man, thanks so much for tuning in with us. Appreciate Middle Valley keeping the lights on for us. As you can tell, the season's over. All the noise that was going on behind us, now the field is completely quiet.
Man. The PKs.
The PKs came down. Who was the winner, Nolan? Impact were the champs, under 16, correct? Impact takes the win for the championship in penalties. That was intense. So thanks for tuning in. Make sure you go ahead and share this. Don't forget, if you share this on Facebook, we'll throw you in for an Amazon $25 gift card. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great week. Tune into some great ball games on Saturday. Good night.
See y'all next week.